IVM.
So it's been a great week on IVM, and I hope that you're listening to as many shows as you can. If you're not following us on social media, we're on IVM Podcast on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. First, I'm going to tell you about a few new shows that we launched. Last week, we launched a show called Marbles Lost and Found with Zain and Avanti. It's a show about mental health, which I think is a fairly interesting conversation to have, and you should enjoy it. We also have a new fictional fun storytelling show for all of our listeners. Croc Tales by Anand Sivakumaran is a bi-weekly show where Anand spins a story from a prompt that could be a word or phrase coming from you. Catch these episodes every Monday and Thursday. On Simplified this week, to try to dig further into the Football World Cup history with some trivia and silly jokes on a longer episode. On The Scene of the Unseen, Amit Verma is joined by stand-up comedians Aditi Mittal and Abbas Momin to talk about the pros and the cons of the Indian comedy scene. On Cyrus Says, Cyrus does an exit interview with his producer Naveen Narona. Naveen's going to be terribly missed around here. If you're not following him, please follow him on Twitter and Instagram. He's at House of Narona. Try and listen to as many of these shows as you can. And now, on to your show.
Welcome to the Geek Bulletin, where we talk about news and really anything we want. So the news and the not news, one might phrase it as.
Nice.
That is how we phrased it in all these episodes.
Yeah.
But I felt like this one
now.
needed context. You know how any TV show, every once in a while has to re-establish its premise for the new viewers?
Yeah, just
I'm
now
doing
and
that for the new
status
listeners.
quo.
Yeah. Hi, our name is the Geek Bulletin. My name is Dinkar. With me is my friend Tejas.
Sup?
And we are going to discuss news and things that are not the news.
What are the news?
The news
What are the news?
Well, first of all, you're aware that Batman is getting married. He sent you an invite?
You know what's happened, right?
Wait, what are you talking about?
The New York Times article.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, that's why it has come to light. But have you been... I haven't been reading this run. But it's Tom King, who's a great writer.
Yeah, I know. I want to, man.
He's ex-CIA, I want to say? He used to be a spy.
I want to say yes. I'm not sure what it was.
Yeah, he's CIA or ex-FBI. But basically, he was literally a spy who loved comic books. Then he quit the agency and said, what if I could just write comic books? And I can imagine whichever editor got his application went like, wait a second, this dude's a spy? He's writing for us.
Man, I would love if he's actually working for Marvel, though. That would be amazing.
That would be amazing.
Yeah.
What if he was the only reason he ever joined the FBI or the CIA, whichever one it was to collect intel for Batman stories?
Yeah, just research.
Yeah,
he went method.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Man. Yeah, he's been writing a great run on Batman, where Batman has been doing things with Catwoman sexually and romantically.
Nice, good. My God, how long has this taken?
Yeah,
50
it's
years?
about time.
Yeah.
But why this has come up in the news is that the big wedding issue that was supposed to come out, New York Times spoiled the literal last page of it in a headline.
Yeah.
Which I suppose we also can spoil.
Should we?
Okay. Well, Batman and Catwoman are going to get married.
Yes.
But then something happens. And the New York Times said it in the headline.
Yes.
Which is, I mean, how can you miss that? Because the piece was written by their comics correspondent.
Right.
So
and
you
Tom
think
King
he knew better.
Apparently didn't know about this and he was pretty pissed.
Obviously, because the guy's been working towards something really big.
Yeah.
And the twist that happens makes perfect sense. It's not just like a random twist that happens in the end. It's not like a Captain America going Hail Hydra situation.
Yeah, exactly.
We're just like, shut up, what?
Yeah. No, but you know what? I was pretty bummed out about reading it because... well, we might as well say. So it doesn't happen, right? They don't actually...
The wedding doesn't happen.
Yeah, they
Batman
don't get married.
Gets left at the altar.
Yeah, but...
Because, which makes perfect sense for these characters over the last, thousands of years that they've existed.
No, you know what? I just wanted two characters to be happy for once. Oh my God. No wedding in a comic book.
But Batman's entire thing is that he's not happy.
Man, all the weddings I've read, okay, whether it's, the one which I loved the most, the wedding album, which was Green Arrow and Black Canary.
Yes.
I remember that one? He dies at that wedding and then they turns out to be a robot and then it's crazy, man. It's just nuts.
But they're not happy.
No, yeah.
What marriage in comic books is happy when you think about it?
Only Nova and his gay lover, I can't remember. But that's because they wanted to make a statement.
Okay, I don't think I've ever read anything where they're married.
Have
you read, there's this great run of Vision comics, which is about...
the Visions, right?
The Visions, where Vision tries to have a normal married existence and it doesn't happen.
Yeah.
Maybe Hawkeye in the MCU?
Oh God, who knows? Yeah, I guess Hawkeye's the only one who's just. But we've never seen a wedding.
Clark and Lois, kind of.
But no wedding has gone through. We've not seen a wedding at it, except in the Fantastic Four movie, which was. Also
I guess
stuck.
so. Which is the one where Doc Ock is marrying Aunt
Oh
here,
God!
and Spider-Man comes in, and the cover is the priest going like, "With this ring, I now thee ... web," because Spider-Man shot a web at him.
Lovely.
Oh, so good.
Man, no, I just wanted for a change for Batman to.
I feel like Batman's entire thing is that he can never be happy.
Yeah, but let's
Batman
be done
and the
with
Joker
that.
and their never-ending rivalry, and Batman and the Catwoman and their never-ending will they, won't they? I feel two bridges we won't cross.
Man, I just think that
dude, Batman and Catwoman are Ross and Rachel.
they are, but they just never. There's no season 10 finale.
It's a forever will they, won't they?
I was pretty upset by reading that. So
it's a shame. And first of all, New York Times, come on, man, you're a good paper. You should know better.
No, it's not about that. I think DC gave it to them, man.
Yeah,
and they said that it's because
I think DC was aware of it, but
they didn't want it to be spoiled by distributors, comic book shop distributors, which could have happened without their knowing. So they decided to leak it themselves.
But comic distributors are so pissed about it, apparently.
Yeah,
I was reading an article about it, which was
man.
What's amazing is the comic book shop owners that they interviewed. A lot of them were pissed. Not because of sales, they were like, I really wanted to read it, man. And I'm like, you have business implications as well. And they're like, yeah, it might affect some sales and stuff, but I wanted to know the ending.
People will read it regardless.
I think so.
Yeah, it's Tom King, man. It's great. Yeah.
But speaking of weird last minute twists, did you read the Captain America Hail Hydra arc, which was
I did not. How does it
Secret
resolve
Invasion
itself?
or Secret War? No, not Secret Wars. Secret Invasion.
Secret Wars is a long time
Secret
ago.
Empire.
Correct. And how did it resolve itself?
Basically, it's a weird, complicated one. It's not that great.
So is he actually Hydra?
No, he was
brainwashed.
Yeah, brainwashed in an alternate timeline of sorts. Basically.
Oh my God, Marvel!
And it's really self-serious. It's not that great.
Okay, fair enough.
So,
but Captain America is traditionally pretty serious.
True. Yeah, true.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
All right,
Let's move on to our next piece of news, which is, you're aware that Quentin Tarantino is working on a Star Trek movie?
Yes, I heard about this. Is that actually happening then?
Yes, and why this comes to light right now, because this was announced a while ago.
This is so weird. This is like Shane Black doing Predator, which he is.
Yeah. Odd, right?
Yeah.
Which should be really interesting, because I really like Shane Black.
Yeah.
But Zachary Quinto, a.k.a. Spock, who, by the way, was always the perfect choice to play Spock.
Correct.
He was born as Spock.
He was born Spock, yeah.
Who was he in Heroes?
Silo.
Oh, correct. Anyway.
You're welcome.
What he says is that my assumption is that the Tarantino movie will be with us as the cast. That's how it's been presented. I don't know. And until the contracts are signed and schedules are cleared, nothing's set in stone. But my understanding is that it's being built in the same universe and we will be the cast.
I was almost hoping you'd do an alternate timeline kind of thing.
Even I assumed that's what he would do.
Or maybe that's actually part of the story. Who knows?
Maybe. What possible motivation would Tarantino have to do a Star Trek in-universe movie? He's always been a standalone movie guy.
Correct. So, I don't know. I mean, I think he's just he just wants to do. He said Hateful Eight was going to be his last film, and then he's just like,
and
I think he's just looking for new
make
stuff.
More movies.
Yeah,
maybe he's looking for stuff to do.
I mean, he's just trying to find a way how he can put Samuel L. Jackson into it, and that's what he has to do now.
Samuel L. Jackson doesn't need Tarantino anymore.
Oh yeah, he doesn't. But it's like a good luck charm, It's
I suppose so.
The Greg Grunberg of J.J. Abrams. Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
So weird. Why?
Yeah.
I mean, so many Star Trek movies and Star Trek Discovery.
Yeah.
It's but I maybe they're going for the cultural behemoth that Star Wars is right now in popular culture, but they're not getting close to it.
They can't. Star Trek will never be Star Wars, man. It's too intellectual. It's got too much.
See, here's the problem. I feel like Star Trek was always a great companion to Star Wars. They never really tried to hone in on each other's storytelling ways,
one is
right?
a very simplistic space opera about good and evil. The other one is about themes of life and how to Prime Directive. Should we involve ourselves in
in a weird way Star Trek has more hard sci-fi sort of themes, but also it always had the ability to tell small stories like standalone episodes and just little pieces.
Also, it was originally a series, so it can never.
Which is why I was hoping that Tarantino would do something separate and just like a little story by itself.
Elseworlds Star Trek.
Man, if only people would get the concept of Elseworlds and start doing that in universes.
Yeah,
DC
man.
has to start doing Elseworlds
because they kinda did it
their
unknowingly,
actual
right?
world is a dumb. It's a dumb. Cancel it and start doing Elseworlds.
They kind of did it involuntarily by giving Nolan the keys to the kingdom. So
I suppose. But I wouldn't call it
because they
Elseworlds.
they didn't get to cross over anything with it. Man of Steel happened like 2 years.
2 years later.
Yeah, later, and they didn't decide they wanted to do that.
True, though I feel like that was the start of the Snyderverse, basically.
Yeah.
As opposed to the Nolanverse. But
No, I'm not talking about Man of Steel. Sorry, what was I saying? No, what was the Superman Returns happened 1 year after Batman Begins.
No. Didn't Superman Returns happen before the entire Bat trilogy?
2006.
Really?
And 2005 was Batman Begins.
Oh, and they didn't cross them over. Interesting. But then Superman Returns was continuing the older Superman
Yeah, but why?
thing.
When they could have just built something as gritty as...
I don't know. I
and
think
they
at
saw
that point...
Nolan's film and they knew it was good. They could have just gone in that direction, like double down on it, and boom.
I don't think they realized at that point that they could create a universe like that.
Yeah, they were just like, wait, we can do this.
The MCU hadn't been invented yet. They were trying to build a long-running franchise. They weren't necessarily doing crossovers and stuff, which is why the MCU is quite revolutionary. They just started so much earlier and they know how to do it better.
Yeah,
but
they just have a better guy at the helm.
DC has such strong characters. I think it's time to do an Elseworlds. I hope that Martin Scorsese produced Joker thing is...
With Joaquin Phoenix.
Yeah, apparently. It gets weirder and weirder, huh?
Cool.
I
like
have
it.
no idea.
Weirder the better, man.
Exactly. Let's go weird. Anyway,
go
next.
Weird. Sorry, go.
In the story of some intern who's about to get fired, Sony Pictures accidentally uploaded an entire full-length movie on
This
YouTube.
sounds like such a Balaji Telefilms thing to happen. I don't know why. I can always imagine some sucker like me just clicking upload and go like,
what do I do now?
Yeah.
But you could have cancelled the upload at any point.
It wouldn't have someone noticed that this is taking significantly longer to upload.
They must have been like, man.
Yeah, Raj, internet slow hai, man.
Yeah, Hathaway internet na.
Yeah.
What to do, bro?
Kal se you broadband. Yeah.
It's been raining na.
My God. Yeah,
First of all,
that's what happened.
I find this news interesting on a number of levels because maybe it's a publicity stunt, dude. Because what is this movie that I would not have given
Khali
two shits about?
Oh, Khali is killing. What?
Khali the Killer.
Khali the Killer. Oh, God. Oh, man. You know what? You know what's so silly about this? That's not even like the X-Men Origins Wolverine film, which was leaked, was stolen from their hard disks and then leaked. Or the GOT script, which was leaked. This is like
the
a
Deadpool
person,
test footage.
Exactly. This is somebody employed who uploaded this wrong file.
Then watched the progress bar go along slowly, all the while the cancel button hovering there, and went like,
what? Did he or she not read Khali the Killer _ final ultimate final?
Yeah, final no more changes .mp4 2
yes,
V2
exactly.
Of course, maybe he left it on overnight, scheduled it to go live, and left for home.
Yeah, and he can stay there.
He left the party. Yeah, they're like,
it's like
don't bother coming back. I mean, so odd.
Yeah.
At least they didn't upload like a Venom or something.
Yeah. Oh, that would be great though.
But here's the weird thing: the IMDb page claims it's hitting theaters in August, but the the title of the trailer says that it's on DVD and digital. Was this a conspiracy to sabotage Khali the Killer? Because this is Sony, and Sony's been famously hacked before.
This is true.
So, what is even happening? And is it all a marketing stunt? These
it's
are a bunch
probably
of
a marketing stunt, maybe.
Yeah, because what is a Khali the Killer?
And also, why is its first trailer dropping a month before the movie drops?
I don't know. And so I'm looking at a screen grab from the YouTube thing that is on this Verge article that I'm reading. And basically, it seems to be a poor man's Khal Drogo talking to a lady. And just from one still, it looks like a movie I would never watch.
Yeah, so precisely, right? We are talking about Khali the Killer on the Geek Fruit Bulletin.
Yeah.
How did that happen?
How did they manage to score that ringing, that placement?
That amazing placement.
Typically, we go through several rounds of studio discussions before we're like, all right, we will talk about your movie.
Fine, Incredibles 2. Right. Yeah. We'll do that.
We will give you this one. And yet here we are talking about Khali the Killer.
I guess we gotta watch this movie now, man.
What is Khali? Khali the Killer is just from the title. It's so bad. Come on, man.
Yeah. Unless it's ironic like Bhavesh Joshi Superhero. In which case, it's a friggin' hit. Yeah. All right, cool. That's our Geek Fruit Bulletin.
Yeah, this has been the Bulletin for this week. Check out our full-length episode in which we're talking about
OST, movie scores, and thingamabobs. We're talking. Actually, it's one of my favorite episodes we've done so far.
Talking about the original film scores
yes.
of cinema masterpieces.
Yes.
I wonder what Khali the Killer score is like.
Oh God. We can find out on YouTube if you just check. Has it been taken down then?
I'm sure it's been taken down at this point.
Snaps.
Where they're like, okay, enough people have seen it. Now come see it in theatres, huh?
Correct.
Cool. All
yes.
right. Love Sony marketing department. This has been the Geek Fruit Bulletin. Love Geek Fruit. See all you nerds.
There she stands, a podcast addict. Outside the bank, having travelled several miles to get in with other poor souls like her. The journey, though daunting for this youngling, will have some comfort because she has downloaded her favourite podcast. You can see more of her species on ivmpodcasts.com, your one-stop destination where you can check out the coolest Indian podcasts. Happy listening.